Hello everyone, this is Grace. It is January the 12th, 2024, and we are continuing our study on salvation and how it works. So this time we're going to be taking a look at the fall. We're still working on the Passover, but I found a conflict in my calendar, so there's going to be some kind of a correction, because this may sound strange, but spiritually there is a conflict with the Day of Atonement. Add that along with the fact that nothing happens on the 10th and expect some sort of a correction. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. I have a title card. This is the story of salvation. Part 2, the fall. Okay. In the beginning there was God. Now, in the Bible, God is a plural. I put God and Jesus. I really should have just put parentheses around Jesus or something like that. Because God is actually plural in the Bible. So in the beginning there was God, and of course Jesus was there, as part of the Godhead. No Trinity. That's a lie. And there's lots of people to teach you that, so I won't go into it. I'm not the best person to teach it. I don't look necessarily for falsehoods unless I'm doing a video to the contrary. And I've done no videos on the Trinity, so I'm not the best person to teach you about that. But there are many people that can. And God and Jesus, or God created man in his image. Now here's the thing. The previous video that I did, you should be able to just go through and read the scriptures and find that it's true. This one is a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to do a study afterwards showing you the scriptures and how I came to that understanding. But a part that I skipped is the fact that there is some controversy about whether or not there were other men created. I do believe that the evidence shows that there were other men created, but those men were not in the image of God. God made a man in his image. Everyone else that was created was already was not in the image of God, but they were men, but I'll explain that later. So God and Jesus created man in his image. And what was unique about him was that he was in the image of God. He had dominion over the earth. He was given dominion over the earth, and he was made a living soul. Everyone else was mortal. Everyone else was mortal. But like I said, I didn't put any evidence for that. There's a whole lot of people that teach that. I might do a study at a later time, but it's just my understanding as of now. Plus, I did do a video once where we were looking at the word man, and it says create the man as opposed to create a man. So there would have already been men created, or at least one man. Doesn't mean they were on earth, but they would have created a man before. So, hold on. Okay, and they took man and they put him in a beautiful garden. In the garden was a tree. This was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And God told the man, do not eat of that tree. See, the tree of knowledge of good and evil taught man right from wrong. And God wanted to raise up man like you might raise up a child. There's a scriptures that says, train up a child in its proper ways. I can't remember the scripture, but I'll put it in the I'll put it in our study video. I'll put it in there. God wanted to raise up man and teach him right from wrong. He didn't want him to learn it from the tree. He didn't want him to learn it instantaneously. He could have just given him that knowledge at birth. He wanted to teach him as he grew so that he could learn and return to the truth. But this tree would have given him the ability to instantly know right from wrong. And so he told him, stay away from that. I'm going to teach you. Stay away. Okay, I forgot I put that one in there. And also the angels, and we know this from Sister White. Also, the angels came about. We also know that I know from Sister White that God wanted to raise, I keep saying Jesus. He wanted to raise man, himself, and teach him right from wrong. That's why he didn't want him to eat from the tree. But we also know that the angels came and they visited him and they warned him about Satan and to beware of Satan. So then, I meant to erase that line, but anyway, then God made woman for man. The man's name was Adam. The woman's name was Eve. I left a lot of stuff in here I meant to go back and take out, like the names and the line. Anyway, Adam taught Eve about the tree and told her, do not eat of it. But Adam loved Eve, and he was just he overdid it. And he was like, don't eat of it. I forgot part of the story. Let's go back. Right here. God told Adam, he said, don't eat of the tree. For in the day that you eat of it, now I'm going to tell you this because this is the best translation that I could get, and then I'll show it to you in the study. He said, the day that you eat of it, you will be judged worthy of death. And the sentence will be you will become immortal. Okay? Now God is God. He spoke to man. He made sure he understood it. And he said, if you eat of it, the day that you eat of it, you will be judged guilty, worthy of death. And your sentence will be that you will become mortal. Okay. So now, Adam is with Eve. And he is teaching her about the tree. So Adam knows about Satan, that he's dwelling around, but he forgets to tell her about Satan. But he loves Eve. He doesn't want her to get hurt. So he says, don't go near the tree. Don't touch it, or you're going to die. You're going to die. Okay? And he explains to her. Probably, I don't know from the words in the Bible, I can't tell exactly what he told her, but I know he told her, don't touch the tree. Do not touch it, or you're going to die. Okay? But he forgot to tell her about Satan. So Eve is out in the garden having a good time. And she sees a creature in the tree. And he's just laid back, kicked back in the tree, and he's eating the fruit. And Eve is very curious because she had been told, don't touch that tree. Don't you touch it. Don't you go near it. You're going to die. But not in those words. I'm going to tell you the words she said. I'm just saying die now because that was the crux of it. I don't know the exact words that he said. So when she sees the creature, she lingers to see what is going to happen to the creature. She wants to see, after she had been warned not to touch it, and he's in there And he's in there eating the fruit nonetheless. She lingers to see what happens to him. And nothing happens. Wow. And he, of course, sees her. Now, I'm going to mess this part up. Oh, hold up. Hold on. Maybe I should read it exactly. Hold on. Okay, let's read exactly what was said. Now, the serpent was more subtle. Hold on. Was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, has God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. Let me translate for you what we're going to see in the study. When she saw the beast in the tree, he said those words to her, You shall not eat. Did God tell you can't eat of the tree? And she said, We can eat of the fruit of the trees, but that tree we can't eat. Hold on, let me try and get it right. But one moment. Hold on. Okay. I want to refresh your memory. God told Adam, if you eat of it, you will be judged guilty, worthy of death. And your sentence for death will be mortality. She tells the serpent, if you eat of it, you're going to die in moderation or slowly. You're going to slowly begin to die. The word, if you look it up in Google, is moderation. The serpent says back to her, You shall not be found guilty, worthy of death. You shall not be found guilty. And you shall not die in moderation. He uses her words. He changes them a little. He uses her words, but he adds in the fact that she's going to be found guilty. So she eats the fruit. She has no idea what she has done. She literally does it. And then she gets Adam to eat the fruit as well. And that is the fall. Oh no, the end. Well, I'll tell you. The end. I had to do a lot of pages I couldn't do anymore. I would have gone further, but we have to stop there for now. And then we'll pick up, we'll get the details eventually. So, but I just wanted to tell you that she did not understand, because when Adam explained to her, he went overboard because he loved her. Adam, Sister White tells us, knew that the serpent had deceived Eve. Eve only trespassed against the law. She didn't really commit a sin. She didn't know. She had no idea. Adam had been told and he understood. But when he saw that Eve had eaten it, now he could have just annulled it according to the laws of God. He could have just said, no, I forbid her to enter into this contract with you, and annulled the entire thing. But he didn't know that. He resigned himself to share her fate because he loved her and he didn't want to lose her. And so that's why he intentionally ate of the apple, because he loved Eve and he wanted to share her fate. Sister White was telling us how, and you can just imagine, all of the generations that came after him knew what he did, and they would routinely rub it in his face. And it became, after so many years of life, it was a relief for him to finally just die. We're going to go into why Jesus had to deny them the tree of life. Well, I'll just tell you, had he not, they would have continued to live, and they had made themselves slaves unto Satan. So eventually they would have had to die when Satan died, because Satan had already been sentenced to death. So in order to save them, he had to restrict them from the tree of life. But then, once they've been saved, they can come back and eat from the tree of life. Anyway, we're going to stop there, and I will talk with you in the next video.